Netflix is sending out its final DVDs today, rolling the credits on the delivery business that vanquished companies like Blockbuster, changed how millions of people watched movies and TV shows, and ultimately set it on a course to disrupt the entertainment industry in a different business altogether, streaming. For a little backstory, Netflix shipped its first DVD in 1998, which was Beetlejuice. And turns out getting any movie you could ever want sent to your house instead of going to a store was pretty popular. The business grew over the first decade of the 21st century to become a shipping behemoth. At its peak in 2011, Netflix was the Postal Service's fifth largest customer, sending 1.6 million discs every day. And it was doing Amazon things before Amazon, offering one-day delivery to 99% of its user base. Of course, times change, and not as many people watch DVDs anymore. Netflix has long ago pivoted to streaming and producing original content. Yet even in its last year, the DVD business is still cranking out money. About 1 million customers still get DVDs, generating $60 million in revenue for Netflix in the first half of 2023. A 25-year run for the ages, Toby.
Neal, this is so nostalgic. I mean, everyone remembers the first time they got a Netflix DVD, that little red envelope. It's just such good memories. It was similar to the Blockbuster experience of going and getting a movie. It replaced it, and now it's ending. So I definitely had some nostalgia thinking about this story. But also, digging into the operations side of this business was crazy because in the beginning, they did it much like how you'd expect, where they were hand stuffing all the envelopes, which is just wild to think about at this point. I mean, they did that until 2002. So it launched in 1998. They were still hand stuffing envelopes 4 years later, but then they finally automated the process. And the automated process is really cool as well. It was one of the first times that machine learning actually came into play. And the reason why machine learning was such a big deal is one of the big issues for Netflix was obviously scratched or damaged DVDs. And that's a horrible customer experience if you send them a scratched DVD. So they needed some way to identify which DVDs were damaged and which ones weren't. And one of Netflix's chief technological officers said, we literally built the first machine learning algorithm in order to identify these DVDs. And they said it worked really well, dropped reports of these 22%. So it is interesting to see how you go from hand stuffing an envelope to building machine learning algorithms in the span of 5 years.
What struck me was the parallels between this DVD service and the streaming service that Netflix eventually made its way into. I mean, it's kind of the same thing when you think about it, just a different mechanism for watching movies. It's straight direct to consumer. The recommendation engine that Netflix used for DVDs, finding DVDs for people, also laid the foundation for the recommendation engine that you see when you open up Netflix every day. So I think these things are more intertwined than you may think on the surface, and one easily led into the other. And when Netflix started its DVD business, Reed Hastings, Mark Rudolph, these guys who started it, knew that the DVD thing would be temporary, which is why they named it Netflix, and there were some other names that they went through that they decided wouldn't ultimately be what Netflix was, because they had this grand vision straight from the outset. And so just kudos to them for foreseeing that and using the DVD service to fuel the streaming service that it would eventually become.
It was such a moneymaker. Between 2012 and 2019, Netflix generated more than $2.6 billion in profits just from the DVD business alone. And you're right, it kind of was, it reminded me honestly of Elon Musk and Tesla, where he's like, we're going to sell this one type of car in order to power the next generation where we want to make mass produced cars. And it was the same thing for Netflix. He said, we know this is a temporary stop for our business. We're going to sell physical DVDs or rent physical DVDs in order to power this vision we have for like an internet enabled country.
Every dollar that was sold in DVDs in the early 2010s went to make House of Cards.
It's crazy.
And House of Cards was the piece of original content for Netflix on streaming that created this behemoth that we know of today. So when you watch House of Cards or any not Netflix original or see Netflix, stream anything, it's because of this DVD business fueled all of that development, because creating content requires tens of billions of dollars, and the DVD service kind of spurred everything.
Shout out those little red envelopes. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you want more Morning Brew Daily, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And also check out the rest of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
New episodes drop at 7 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and you can email us at morningbrewdaily@morningbrew.com.